Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live as a French farmer in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find out anything about me, you can go to MySpace where I have a page. This here, the question I want to ask here is, are the Jews responsible for the death of Jesus Christ? And of course the answer is no. That's ridiculous. Unfortunately, the Vatican and even some Protestants throughout since the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, of course at that time there were no Catholics and Protestants here, have blamed the Jews for the execution of Jesus Christ. Well, first remember this, that had Jesus not died, Christianity would not exist. But for some reason, the Jews have been the target of this ridiculous assumption that they're somehow all responsible, their children, grandchildren. Even to this day, there are people who blame the Jews for the death of Jesus Christ and are very anti-Jewish. That's just downright stupid. They are the chosen people. Whether you like it or not, they're the chosen people. And me, I'm fine with it. I'm not man enough to tell God, you can't have, I don't like who you chose as your people. Ain't going to happen. And besides, I like Jewish people anyway. They are not responsible for the death of Jesus Christ. Something that a lot of people don't seem to realize is that it was the Romans who put Jesus to death. It was just a handful of Pharisees and a mob that wanted Jesus dead. But we don't seem to blame all the Italians of today or over the centuries. Why? Because it's stupid. Do we blame all the Italians? No. It's absolutely ridiculous. That would be like the black man here in America blaming the white man for slavery. I didn't have anything to do with slavery. The chances are, I'd say it's 100% certain that nobody watching this video has anything to do with slavery, or ever did. If you're white, I think you would resent it if you were blamed for it. When you had nothing to do with it. It was, slavery was evil. There's nothing to debate. It was wrong and it was evil. And simple as that. But I want to take a verse or two. I'm just going to be two verses out of the book of St. John, chapter 10, 17, 18, that should put to rest this notion that the Jews are responsible for the death of Jesus Christ. And I take it from the KJV. That's the only Bible I use. Therefore does my Father love me, because I laid down my life, that I might take it again. No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father. Jesus came to die. And you cannot kill God. He came to die. He said, I laid down my life. He knew he was going to die. He had to die. And here he's making it clear that no man taketh it from me. So if the Jews are responsible for the death of Jesus Christ, then that verse is an error in Jesus' life. No. He laid it down of his own free will. And I think all these people who still hate the Jews and blame them for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ need to get real, because they're living in a different world that makes absolutely no sense. The Jews are not responsible. Neither are the Italians. Jesus came to die. He just made it clear. He predicted his own death. And that's just one verse. And he makes it clear, I laid down my life. No man taketh it from me. No man on earth can kill God. So I've never understood the Vatican's hatred for the Jews. And it started back with Constantine, who was actually technically the first pope. Peter was never a pope. The word pope doesn't even exist in the Bible. Of course, the word pope means Abba. None means fish. Only none in the Bible is the father of Joshua. There is no purgatory. There is none of that stuff. It's all made up. It's like Christmas. Christmas means Christ's Mass, but they never celebrated Jesus' birthday. Back in those days. That doesn't mean Christmas is evil. It's not. We can celebrate it. But it's not the birthday of Jesus Christ. He was probably born, according to Jewish scholars, around the end of summer of AD 3. And that's just some scholars. You'll have others that think different. But I want to concentrate on that Jesus laid down his life. He predicted his own death. And this hatred of Jews for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ is just downright ridiculous, and it needs to stop. There is no scriptural or biblical foundation which to base that hatred on. And there are those in the Protestant churches sometimes who teach that, which I am a Protestant, who teach that, that's the reason why the Jews were dispersed in 70 AD as a punishment for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Maybe, maybe not, but it changes nothing. They're still the chosen people of God, and they are not to be blamed. Just like Jesus said in some scriptures, where I think it was one of his disciples wanted to blame the sins of I believe it might have been the blind man, or might have been the man that was paralyzed, for his sins. So the man that was paralyzed, I believe it was paralyzed, that he was being punished for the sins of his father. Jesus said, no, he's not being punished for the sins of his father. We do not get punished for our parents' sins. God takes us all as each as an individual and deals with us as an individual. Just like on Judgment Day, we will stand alone. There will be no ACLU lawyers there or anywhere. They're going to have they got their own problems to face. And they got some big ones to face. But anyhow, I just wanted to set that straight because, this anti-Jewish bigotry in America by some Protestants and some Catholics, and of course we know why some Muslims hate Jews, it's got to stop. There is no scriptural foundation. And I wish people in my own religion, Protestant, Baptist, Methodist, whatever, would stop it. I'm disappointed to see some high-profile TV evangelists who somehow try to equate the Antichrist as being Jewish. No, the Antichrist is not Jewish. There's no scriptural foundation for that. Nor is the false prophet. Nobody really knows. That's like people trying to say, well, we know when the world's going to end. No, you don't know. You're a liar if you say you do. You do not know. I don't know. So, knock it off. This thing is getting ridiculous. There's no scriptural foundation for it. And you're just wasting your time. You're expressing hatred or dislike that's unfounded. Just like people hated black people, slaves, because of the skin of their color. They're just stupid. These people are just downright idiots. They base it on absolutely nothing. Remember, Moses was not white. He did not look like Charlton Heston. And bear in mind, I used to write for Charlton Heston. We used to change letters a lot. But he was not. He didn't look like Charlton Heston. He was probably a brown man. Whatever, it's the skin color of the Egyptians of today, primarily. He wasn't a white man. You can't pass yourself off as an Egyptian for 40 years in the house of Pharaoh and call you and be white. It's not going to happen. And that's what Moses was able to do. So I just want to leave it at that. Please stop it. It's ridiculous. The Jews are not responsible for the death of Jesus Christ, neither are the Italians or anyone else. Those who put him to death will be judged by God, and they will be dealt with. It's not, you don't blame a whole race of people, just like I don't want to be blamed for slavery. I had nothing to do with it. My parents had nothing to do with it. My grandparents had nothing to do with it. My ancestors probably had nothing to do with it. So let's leave it at that. Thank you for your time.